Hello, hello to an episode Deuce. 20. You call it 20 Deuce? No,
Juice.
episode Dub. No, Deuce is two. Like Deuce Deuce is two.
I'm thinking tennis.
Oh, but that's not. This is episode Dub. Episode 20. This is your boy, of course, on the Big Belly Pats, Nick. And I'm also got by. If you all can hear that, I apologize. I am using my significant other's very squeaky chair. We did WD-40 it. Just time for an upgrade, fellas and ladies. Yeah. So this episode will be Nick, my esteemed co-host, Sir Daniel, and this chair. There you go. So if you hear me moving and you hear click, 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 that's not my knees, it's the chair. All right. Good Sir Daniel, how are you? How are you today?
I'm great, sir. I'm great. It's been a very good week so far. And how's sweet buttery Nick? How's he doing? Because his voice
that is not my name. That is not my name. So Thursday, since we came back from Portugal, which I'll talk about Portugal a bit. We came back from Portugal. I had like a little itch in my throat or something, and I was fine. And then I worked Thursday. Friday, I woke up and I sent you a voice message, dude. My voice was, it sounded like it was sand grinding. My throat was killing me.
You know what we should do? You know what we should do? We should play it. We should play this voice note. Let me find it. Let me see.
You know what I mean? I don't think people. I don't think they want to.
Hold on. Let's hear the sweet buttery voice. Hold on, I'm gonna press play here. All right. Okay, let's hear it. 3, 2, 1.
Why? That's okay.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet buttery Nick.
You know, listening back to that, it sounds so fake. But so the funny thing is, that morning I woke up, my throat was on 10, dude. Like swallow, like you wake up, swallow spit, or you swallow some water. Felt like I was swallowing nails. Like my throat was just killing me. So I called into work, and like at our job, well, there used to be able to message in, but I called in. My boss heard my voice, and she was like, "Oh yeah, take the day off." Mind you, I didn't have to work till 1 p.m. So this is like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling good." Blah 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 blah. The day goes. I had some hot tea. I had a hot toddy made with some whiskey and some lemon and some honey, some meds and everything. My voice was back fine. It was back normal. I could have went back to work. I didn't, because I already called in. Didn't wanna. Because here's the thing. In my defense, and I was telling Lucy about this. Even in China, I never call in sick. If I call in sick, I'm legit sick. So this was my actual first time, because once I did call in sick a few months ago, but I felt better and I still went to work. So this Friday was the first time I actually called in sick. So I never feel bad when I call in sick, because I never use those days. So, but yeah, took the day off. Since then, Lucy's been giving me shit because it's been about 3 weeks or 4 weeks now, and I've worked a total of like 3 days. But I'm back at it tomorrow, and yeah, man, I just got a little sniffle, phlegm, itchy throat. Trying to sort it out. That's about it. Nice. So yeah, everything else is good.
Glad we have sweet buttery Nick back with us.
I hate that you're really pushing this.
Selling it, man. I'm selling it hard.
All right.
All right. So you've recently been somewhere. You've been to the land of Portugal. Let's hear it.
Yes. Portugal was cool, man. We went to so it's South Portugal. It's called the Algarve. I think that's how you say it. which is like the whole region down there. But we went to a city called Faro and a city called Olhao, Olhao, something like that. But they're like southern coastal cities. You hear that chair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's our special guest. Is Lucy's chair. Yeah, but it was cool, man. Me and Luce, we had a good time. We went to Manchester, went to the Masego concert. Shout out to Masego. Had some good spots at the O2 in Manchester. Bomb concert. If you don't listen to Masego, check him out. It's like a jazz hip hop, but he's dope. Um, we went to see him, and the next day we flew to Faro, like a 2.5 hour flight. Um, and dude, we had a good time, man. The food was banging. The weather down there is weird because it was it was cold, so we would leave out from our we had like a little Airbnb, which was a dope Airbnb. The area, it looked a bit underdeveloped. It looks like, graffiti on the walls and stuff, and it's like on the streets. But as soon as you go into to the doors, like off the streets, and you go into the back, like off the streets, nice houses, nice apartments, nice Airbnbs. It just on the street, it looks slummy. But once you go
Oh, I
through the
see what you
doors,
mean.
and you're like, yeah, you got like we had like a whole rooftop, little terrace and stuff. It was if it was more things to do around there because it's more so just a tourist area. It would be a dope spot to live. Our Airbnb would have been a dope spot to live at, and it's one of those if you walk up to it, you'd be like, "Oh, this looks ratchet." You go into the little door, oh, this shit's nice. So, yeah, Lucy picked out a solid Airbnb, but we had a good time, man. The food was good. The weather, it's one of those like the weather can't make its mind up. It'll rain for about 10 minutes, and then it'll stop, and then it would get cold. So like Lucy had to she brought a coat or a jacket. She would put it on because it'd get cold. 10 minutes later, burning hot, take it off. 20 minutes
Yeah,
later,
yeah,
back freezing cold.
yeah.
And
It's
so,
that
but it was cool,
it's
man.
it's close to the equator, so
Yeah.
it's got that different climate. So it's got like the four seasons
Uh huh.
in one day.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but we had a great time, man. Went to go check out. Seen like this old it was a church built out for part of it was built out of like bones from like old monks that used to live there.
That's
We had
cool.
some good Portuguese food, some soda, which is like kind of like a stew soup kind of thing was bomb.
Nice.
Um, and we went to the the Portugal Premier League, their top soccer league.
Oh, Liga.
Um,
Liga no
yeah, Liga Portugal.
no. Yeah, it's Liga LIG, and I think it's Nova. I'm going to be wrong here. The football fans are going to hate us. Nova BXXX something. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking. That's the league
There you
where
go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sporting, Porto, and everyone plays in. Yeah,
Porto, Benfica, and all of them in
yeah.
it. But yeah, so but we didn't see them. The team the city we were in, Faro. The team is called Ferens. I might be saying that wrong.
Nice.
But
I don't
they
think I've
just
heard of
got
them.
promoted up. Yeah, they just got promoted up this season. Last season they were in the whatever the second tier is called. So they just got
Nice.
promoted up this season. They're kind of like middle of the pack, lower of the pack. But they had a home game against a team called Morians. I'm also saying that wrong. And
That's sick.
it
That's
was
great.
cool, man.
That's
It was a
awesome.
good game. Stadium was a bit small, a bit ratchet, but the people were there. We were turned up. We had our team, the Ferens team, had a red card in like the first 10 minutes,
Nice, nice.
and but they played 10 man down or 1 man down the whole game, and then they lost 1-0, so it wasn't too bad. But solid game, man. We had a good time, man. Uh, got
That's an
drunk on
awesome
some
thing.
wine, some Portuguese wine. Huh?
That's an
Yeah.
awesome thing. That's an awesome thing to be like, hey, we did this. It's really cool.
Yeah, so we since we've been traveling now, because this the football season going on or soccer
Yeah.
season for the American listeners. Um, we try to go when we go on these travels. We try to if there's a game around that area, we try to go see these other teams.
Nice.
Our trip to the place that we're not allowed to talk to yet or not to talk about yet we we're going to try to go to one of their games while
Don't
we're
tell me that.
there.
No, go away. Go away. I know exactly where you go. No.
Well, you know
Come
it's two
on.
teams. You know it's two teams there,
Yeah, I know that. Why?
and
Why
we're
are you
trying to
telling me
go
this?
to the
I'm going to end
to
the
the
recording
red.
now. I'm going
Which
to end the.
we're trying to go, but there's no guarantee though. There's no guarantee we're going to go. But
Well,
tickets are cheap, man.
I've been to Liverpool. Yeah.
Liverpool. I don't care about Liverpool because they put me 20,000 to the line for the Burnley match. I don't care. I don't care. I go to Tranmere games. Okay. But
All right.
so
So
yeah, man, Portugal was solid.
nice, nice. Recommend it.
What's
Recommend
up?
it to
Talk to me.
everyone listening.
I do recommend it. I recommend it when it's a bit warmer out. We didn't like get in the water or anything. The weather was good, but it wasn't like beach weather. Um, so it was still good to like walk around, get drunk, whatever. Cheap, of course, it's cheap. To eat good, eat great. Our accommodation was solid. So yeah, man, I recommend it. I do recommend it. It's good for like maybe 4 days max, 4 or 5 days max.
Cool. Sounds
Really,
like
really
you're
a
okay.
weekend, a solid weekend to do it for you. But yeah, yeah, man, it
Cool.
was solid.
All
And then
right.
we're
So,
leaving this coming weekend.
oh, is it this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all people
Yeah,
just
man.
travel. What the hell?
Here's, here's the thing
No.
though. We have no. Listen, we've been moving a lot. After this coming weekend, we have no
No.
travels
No,
until.
rubbish.
No,
Because
listen, 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 listen.
you're going to
That's what I'm saying.
June.
Listen, 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 listen. After this weekend, we have no travels until June, and I'm thankful. I need a break from getting on planes for a bit. So,
This man is
yeah.
complaining. What? No.
We're it's okay.
I get
We're
looked at funny when I went to Korea and everyone's like, oh, you went to Korea, you went to England. I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, April, I'm gonna try and save money, trying to go back to the province of Europe and the continents of Europe, and I'm like, so much money. And this guy here is bouncing around like it's no carefree in the world here. Maybe I
oh,
should come live in Europe.
listen. No, I wouldn't. Europe, yes. The UK, I would not. I
I
highly
know.
would not recommend
I've been
that.
there. I've been enough there.
Yeah.
There's only reason why there was only reason like unless like Eton College employs me in London. That's it, guys.
Yeah. I
It's hard.
I
It's hard.
for our listeners, great place to visit. I wouldn't I don't want to like shit on the whole country and everything, but from my personal perspective, I wouldn't recommend it. Me and Lucy have already talked. Of course, we want kids in the future and everything, but once that happens and our kids get of a certain age, we are out of here. So,
Fair enough.
yeah.
All right. So, sir, you recently you've recently aged. Recently aged. How does it feel? How does this look so far? How does it look? Do you have
So,
a head of
my
how
birthday
does it
just
look?
passed. It's to be honest, it's the same thing as it was like. Well, I'm okay. So I just turned 33. I feel fine. The bags under my eyes are bigger, but that's on me. Need to sort that out. And I was good until this weekend. We have Lucy's niece and nephew are here with us, Ray and Mason. Stay with us for the weekend. And kids are too honest. I asked
Wonderful
these
angels.
little
Wonderful
munchkins.
angels.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Angels.
I
Be
said,
careful.
I said, how old do y'all think that I am? Never ask a child how old do you think that they are, because it's either going to be it's either going to be right on point. They're either going to say something really nice, or they're going to be honest. And when they're honest, it's never good. This little girl told me 45.
Oof.
I said 45. I said 45. And Mason was like, I don't know, 33. Mason was right around the area. So I gave it. Mason said 34. I was like, okay, I'll
Yeah,
take that
yeah,
because you're close.
give it to him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But she's like 45, 45. I was like, oh.
45. I'm
I
in a
was like,
wheelchair,
I used
mate.
to. I used to like you. I told her, I said, in the ranking now, Mason has moved above you in the rankings. Just want to put that out there.
Ooh.
So yeah, but yeah, birthday was solid. Uh Lucy's family, her sister, the kids came over. Stace came over. We had fajitas. Lucy made me some gold blue uh cupcakes. She got me the shirt. You see
I
it.
saw. Yeah,
National
you
champions.
spoiled boy.
See
You
that? I got
haven't.
a lot of Michigan stuff. Hmm?
Did you get the money to your better half so she could have done? I don't know if I think she's done it.
Yeah, so everyone, I'm laying down, and it's because of the time difference. It was late here. It was late here. I should have been asleep. It was probably like 1 a.m. here, and I'm just like laying down in the bed playing a game on my phone.
I messed up.
Daniel randomly sends me 135 pounds, and I was like, "What's this for?" So I messaged him. I was like, "Yo, why'd you just send me 135 pounds?" Oh! I messed up. That's for Lucy. That's for Lucy. Send it to Lucy. So I'm like, okay. So I sent it to Lucy, but I'm like, still, what's the 135 pounds for? And of course, Daniel don't respond. He was like, "Oh, you'll see." I asked Lucy. She was like, "Oh, it's for something that Daniel's getting you." I'm like, and I still haven't figured out what is 135 pounds for?
You will see. I think Lucy will order it and will arrive sometime soon.
You don't have to see
Yeah,
when it
I
comes to
messed up. I messed
birthdays,
up.
man.
I messed up.
I'm not good at receiving gifts and stuff. I felt like I was like, I don't want people to spend like crazy money on me or nothing like that, man. I'm pretty bashful when it comes to my birthday. I don't like all the attention on me. I don't like people saying happy birthday to me because I don't know what to do with my hands. Uh,
You don't know how to say thank you or receive a gift with your hands full.
I just birthday. I like Lucy. Lucy invited her family for my birthday. I told her, I was like, it's fine. It can just be me and you, babe. You don't need to bring others into this. And she's like, yeah, I'm bringing others into this. Like it's already set up. And yeah, I'm not good with birthdays. So I don't know what Daniel's getting me.
It will arrive. I
Her
think it will
family
arrive.
got me some. Lucy and her family gave me some snacks, some wine, some Michigan stuff. I got a bomb record player, or not record player, a vinyl record. It's a group
Nice.
called The Sacred Souls. Uh, Solid. I guess you would say, I don't know what genre you would say they are. Like R&B, maybe smooth R&B. I don't know what genre you would say. But if you get a chance, look up The Sacred Souls. It's like THEE, Sacred Souls. Solid group. I just found out about them maybe about 6 months ago, and
Nice.
I'm in love with them. Dope singing. They have a tiny desk on NPR. Dope, dope, dope. So shout out to them.
Sounds good.
Um,
Sounds good.
but yeah, birthday was good, man. Birthday was good.
All
Daniel's
right.
is
So
in November.
mine's in November. You'll forget by then. You'll have to message Olivia again.
But I'll message her before the birthday. I'm just not good with dates. I'm not good with days. Like March, I go broke in March.
It's quite funny because like Nick and I are completely the opposite when it comes to dates. I've probably become better at it, but it's just because you know I've had the type of growing up like my dad. My dad is very very meticulous with his dates because he travels a lot for work. So it just rubbed off on me, to be meticulous about dates. My mom was also very meticulous at work about dates. So like just knowing a lot of information it helps me. So like planning all these events at school, planning the schedules at school, planning sports schedules, cultural schedules, events, stuff like that. You start to figure out that you have to have like a hold on dates. And I'm talking to people. I'm like, on this date, I'm coming to here. This date is what I'm going to do here. This date, I want to do this. And everyone's like, how are you? And I was like, just run with it. Just handle it. This is my dates. All right. I need to know this because it costs money to forget dates in my world. So yeah, so it works well. You and I, we work well. We yin and yang. We yin and yang.
Yeah, I try. I try.
I'll don't worry, Lucy. I'll make sure he pitches up on the right date for the wedding.
Yeah. See, I'll be there. I might ask a few times, like, what's the date again?
Oh, man.
Should be okay.
Yeah, I just want a quick shout out. Quick shout out to Nina. Nina's back in Shenyang. Nina's back. I saw her Friday night, so she's back.
She's there with like her niece or something.
Yeah. Jez. Her name is Jez. Sorry, I almost messed that up badly. Yeah, her name is Jez. She's the similar age to Nina. They are a niece, but it's the family tree. And the niece is here for about 2 months, and Nina's back for good. I think she's working quite close. She's working in Hunan, so she's working in this area, and she's staying with Olivia right now for about 2 weeks or so until they find a good place to settle. So shout out to Nina. And
shout out to Nina.
Also, this is a little bit personal, but shout out to my mom. My mom and I are homeowners. Well, she holds the keys. I hold the will. So my mom and I have recently purchased a house in Alicante, Spain, where she can quietly retire and do odd jobs. So April, she's moving to Spain. She's about to bounce in April, so not too long now, I mean. So we are in Alicante, Spain. We are house owners. So I'm poor now. I'm poor now for the next 5 years, trying to pay off a mortgage. Well, my mom owns the house, but I pay her, if that makes sense. Because I couldn't be on the deed.
Right. So y'all splitting the mortgage?
Well, she bought the house cash. I helped with some of the cash.
Okay.
She bought the house cash because we sold the house in South Africa, and so she was like, it's only my sister and I that have like. It's only my sister and I that's part of our mom. So my sister has other things like another property somewhere. I think from my stepdad, that's in my sister's name. And some investments, but my mom was like, Daniel has nothing. But I was like, well, you don't have to be, it's not like you're leaving it to me, I'm paying for it, and that was the deal. I wanted to own property. So I am investing, and I'm investing in a nice property in Alicante. So hopefully in July we have a good time, have a weekend or two in Alicante, which is not too far from where you are, sir. And
nice.
Yeah, things have changed. Things have changed recently. I mean, things have changed recently. I don't think but I have thought about where I would work next. So all I know is Shenyang. I'll be working here for the school year for 2024 to 2025. But the next destination hangs in the balance for a lot of reasons. I might be I might be thinking of moving to your neck of the woods, but obviously not in your actual state or where you from.
Yeah.
What country you from? That's where, I think maybe that would be an option. Maybe I'd stay in Shenyang.
USA?
Maybe. It's a big maybe, but I am looking for the school year of 2025.
Yeah.
So maybe
we'll have to talk about that one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when things. So viewers don't get stressed. Everything's cool, but over the next 6 to 7 months, there's going to be a lot of change in my life. That's it, and very positive change, very exciting change. However, moving on, I think Nick has been itching at this, but I'm gonna push him to I've got an opinion. All right. And let's just say I'm not so clued up. I've got some knowledge about sport around the world. I have a good understanding of different types of sport. I've experienced a lot of sport, which is great. I mean, playing from being boxing to playing rugby to playing cricket to playing football to playing American football to playing frisbee to doing jiu-jitsu to doing kickboxing, badminton, table tennis, whatever you name. Oh, there's Frankie. Hello, Frankie. And
Oh, you can hear him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
If you hear some, just pause. If you hear some kids or whatever screaming, they're back. So
that's cool. So
yeah.
I've got a good understanding of sport. Don't ask me who won the badminton championship in India. The fact that I know it was held in India recently is still, it's cool. It's cool. I think China and Malaysia were in the final for the doubles, the badminton. I know
Nice.
the lady, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I don't want to mess it up, but Belarus, the lady that won the Australian Open, she's won a double. She retained the title in Australian Open. She's pretty good at. I like the way she plays tennis. But these are the things.
Okay.
So I back myself with some sport knowledge. However, I want to ask you a question. And a lot of people do not understand the magnitude of it. Because we sit in our corners around the world and we throw shade on different types of sport. Now,
Right.
obviously looking at it, football/soccer is probably the biggest sport around the world. It is probably the most watched sport, along with cricket. And people might be like, "Oh, cricket, you can't say that." India has a population of 1 billion people, and I can tell you now,
They
1
love
billion
cricket.
people watch cricket. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, 1 billion people in India, 1 billion people watch cricket. Facts.
True.
However,
True.
in terms of marketing and in terms of internal strength of sport, in terms of media outlets, social media, the amount of channels that cover it, the amount of viewerships you have alone from a country. And I think of this as coming from, I look at sport from grassroots to primary school, to high school, to university, to the pro league. All right. And there's different sports and different facets around the world that do it right. You can argue that the New Zealand and South Africa do really good with rugby and cricket from a high school point of view, and stuff like that. Regardless of that, why is American sports so powerful from the roots up? Why is it so powerful? And I'm not talking about, regardless of the fact that you guys call yourselves world champions for everything, it doesn't matter. People must look past that. Why is the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, you guys have got 3 big leagues of sport that is celebrated and influential around the world. What everyone says, I don't care what anyone says, the NFL's followed around the world, MLB's followed around the world, and NBA is followed around the world. Those are your 3, and even NHL, ice hockey. So for me, you guys have got 4 strong leagues. They're so powerful. They're so strong. They back themselves. England can't say they have. No one knows about the Guinness Premiership unless you know about it. Unless you're from a close thing. I mean,
What's
know
the
about
Guinness Premiership?
That's exactly it. That's the rugby league in England. Do you know the United Rugby Championship? Do you know the United Rugby Championship? No, you don't. Okay, so your guys' leagues are so powerful that they're your internal leagues, but the world watches them, and that's a crazy thing because the Premier League and the Champions League, I get it. The IPL from India, I get it. Those are once-off things. What I'm saying is, the American sports are huge. The world follows them. You don't see a weekly Premier League game flying to Asia or England, or America to play an actual Premier League game like the NFL does.
Yeah.
I think the NFL is now in Spain, Germany, and London.
And Mexico, and I think Ireland soon.
And I think Nigeria as well. Nigeria is going through as well.
I think they're planning on it. Yeah.
So you see what I mean. So we can throw shade as non-Americans. We can throw, you guys call yourselves the world champions. Matter of fact, it's if you're looking at the technical thing, American sports, you shouldn't call yourselves world champions. However, you guys do have a bragging right in terms of how you guys market your sport. And I think that's coming
Yeah.
from a marketing experience brain as well as a sport fanatic.
Hmm.
So, like, what is it? What is the secret sauce? What do you think is the secret sauce in America?
I, I think it's, and I'm glad you said that because I've had this argument with so many people about that whole world championship title stuff, and it's so annoying. And I'm like, yeah, you want to talk about semantics? That's cool. I think it's one. I think outside of that, I think our the thing is one, it boils down to money and exposure. All
Hmm.
right. I think, of course, when you have soccer or football, across the world, I like I said, I fully believe it's the most popular sport in the world. I think it's because in the U.S. we have soccer, but to play it, if you have to play for you can play for your school team, but
Hmm.
like they don't get a lot of exposure. The colleges don't. College soccer doesn't get a lot of exposure. People talk shit about the MLS. You know, doesn't get a lot of exposure. Any American person we have that's like top tier football slash soccer player tend to go to another country or try to go to another country. Um, because in the thing is with soccer and just growing up, what I've seen, and even now, to play for those club teams, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Whereas in a lot of other countries, you can see kids. We see it in Portugal. Just kids in the street got a soccer ball, kicking it around. He might play for the local
It's a
team. I don't know if
it's
it
the
costs or
scouting system.
anything.
This
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
scouting system is so powerful in Europe, Africa, South America. Yeah,
Right,
the big clubs pay scouting systems differently. Even the scouting systems go
right.
to America. That's it. Simple facts.
Yeah, yeah. And but in the U.S., we have for at least for soccer for sure, we have these club teams, and you have to pay. Excuse me. You have to pay to like put your kid on these teams. It's not cheap. It's not
Yeah,
cheap. You have to pay for the team. You have to pay to be on the team. You might have to, I don't know the exact what you're paying for. You might have to help pay for travel and clothing. I don't know that, but I know it's expensive. Whereas in like when I was in high school and even like little league, there's little league basketball, there's little league baseball, there's little league American football. When we go to our schools, high school, college, it's big.
yeah,
When I was in high school, I played football in high school, and it wasn't like an international, not an international, like a national powerhouse. But like in my state of Kentucky, we were like number 3 in the state, so we were on TV. Like just in
yeah,
Kentucky, though. Don't get me wrong, we wasn't like on ESPN, but we were getting exposure and
yeah,
other. But it's free. Obviously, it's free. It's a public school. It's free to play. If you're good, you're good. I think it's so. Going back to your question, I think it's in those sports, it's just what we're good at.
yeah,
Most other countries, if you're a scout and you're looking at football slash soccer, um, the American athletes for that sport don't really. People talk shit about us. People look down on the Americans that play soccer. You know, they're not good. They're not technical. Sound blah 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 blah. We have athletes. You can't argue that. We have athletes, but we're just not good in that sport. But it's also that sport isn't really exposed to us growing up. It's all
yeah,
basketball, football. Now, as to why, I don't know. That goes back to decades, 100 years ago. We can't really
yeah,
change that. You know,
yeah. It's
when I
it's
was
all
growing
down
up,
to
I didn't. Yeah, when I was growing up, I didn't see no soccer balls. It was basketballs
yeah.
and footballs everywhere, and that's
It,
just
it
what you play, what you gravitated to.
Yeah, that's based on your growing up. So basically, like in South Africa, you are born with most people are now born with a rugby ball in their hands. You
Right,
our schooling system creates that environment for athletes to thrive in those sports. For
right.
example, South African netball is not weak. We are strong. We keep up with like the likes of Australia, England, and New Zealand because our school netball system is very, very strong and competitive. So yeah, so for
Hmm.
instance, but I do think that you guys market and you put more
Right.
money in the community of those sports. You guys,
And
you
mhm.
monetize, you money. How do I say that? Monopolize or monetize or financialize?
Monetize.
Monetize. Sorry, excuse my vocab there. You monetize the high school football team. You monetize
Mm-hmm.
the college basketball league. You monetize it by, I mean, if you want to go watch a high school rugby match in South Africa, you don't pay. You can just go and watch it. You know.
Oh, you
However,
pay
I
to
do.
come us watch us.
Yeah, but like, university, you might pay maybe 10 rand, which is like 3 kwai to
Mm-hmm.
watch it, and you don't need to
Mm-hmm.
buy lots of money. However, you guys monetize that environment. You want those people to purchase the things. In terms of high school,
Mm-hmm.
you can't buy high school apparel as a. Yes, it's starting to slowly progress in certain countries, but that's where you guys have done it better. You've marketed and you've made it a community to support that school in that sport.
Right. And then I think it's also why, we have, because it's one of those like other countries are like, uh, you all think that the NFL is so big and NBA is so big, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, you can talk trash about it, but you still know some of our players. You still know some of the teams. You've
You
heard of
wear the
Michael Jordan.
shirts. Yeah,
You wear the
you wear the
jerseys.
shirts.
Good.
That's it.
And I heard a lot in the UK. A lot of the shit I hear about is from the UK about the US thinks that we're a top dog in all these sports. And I'm like, I get it. You want to be upset? I get it. Y'all got soccer, Premier League. I get it. Go to China. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many basketball jerseys I've seen in China. NBA jerseys, Kobe jerseys, Curry jerseys, LeBron jerseys. I've seen more basketball jerseys than I see soccer jerseys.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
When we were teaching, uh, whenever I had kids in any type of gym, they was down to go play basketball more so than they want to go kick a ball.
Absolutely.
The
Basketball is
CBA in
popular.
China is
It's big.
massive,
It's big here.
right? It's a lot more people there than it is in the UK. So, and it's just one of those. And then on top of that, going off of a standpoint of, let's just say you have the option to play any sport as a kid. If you want to play soccer, football, whatever, obviously you want your kid to go to the Premier League, the La Liga, Serie A, whatever the other ones, like a top, one of those top, pretty much European leagues, you know. Uh, but then in China, let's say I have a Chinese kid and I want him to go top tier. If he goes top league in China, these other people, these other fans in Premier League and La Liga, y'all gonna look down on him. Oh, you play for the Chinese league, you're not that good. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we have to
Yeah.
come there to get the money. We have to come there to get the exposure. Now, let's
And the
take away
recognition.
that. If you Yeah, and then let's take away that. Let's take away football. Let's take away soccer. If you want to do rugby, I personally don't know the top rugby league outside of when I see them playing for their countries.
Hmm.
All right,
Exactly.
but so
That's it. That's exactly.
I don't talk down on it because I just don't know. I know if you want a top tier cricket, I'd imagine you go to an Indian league. I'd imagine.
Yep.
I'd imagine.
The Indian Premier League is
Uh,
probably the most highest paid league. Exactly. So
right.
it's just
If your kid wants to go top
understanding it.
tier, yeah. If your kid wants to go top tier in mostly other sports with the ball, American football, baseball, basketball, those three, where are you sending your kid to? Where are you trying to get them to? To the U.S.
Yes.
Because that's where they're going to get the exposure. That's where they're going to get the money.
Yeah.
We don't say that, oh, we're the best, as in just the American athletes are the best. The NBA now, half of the players ain't even from the U.S.
Exactly.
Our current the latest MVP, and is about to win another MVP, Jokic, he's from Slovakia,
Yeah.
something like that. One of those. We have I follow on Instagram NFL Africa. There's so many NFL players from Africa that we have
Yeah.
I say we. There's an NFL grassroots program that goes to Africa where they have an NFL Africa like flag football thing for the kids. And these kids, I follow them on Instagram. These kids playing American football in Africa, balling. Like these kids are, I've seen some ballers. I don't know what countries they're from. I don't, Nigeria, Ghana, whatever. I don't really know, but ballers, and they have a whole NFL Africa program that because the combines and stuff are going on, they will have a separate combine in Africa, and these kids, youth players, college guys work out in front of these scouts. And there's a lot of NFL players, current champions, everything, ballers from Africa.
Yeah.
Didn't go to a university in the US, played ball in Africa, blah, 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 they came. So, and I think that's where the, quote unquote world champion, I think that's where we give ourselves that, oh, we're the world champion kind of thing. Then people get upset, you're not the world champion. When I hear that with the Super Bowl, people say, you're not the world champion in the Super Bowl. You know, there's other countries that play. I honestly don't see another country, being honest, another country playing against the Chiefs. You can get the best team that you have in England, play against the Chiefs, and win.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
I think the two sports where America would get challenged is baseball and basketball.
I think baseball, when it comes to Asian teams.
Yeah, like Japan.
I think baseball, right? Because half our baseball, there's so many people in the thing about baseball is we have a lot of players from Southern America, from South America. There's a lot of Mexican players, Puerto Rican players, Cuban players. They've been balling in baseball. And Asian players, they ball in baseball. I give that to them. Basketball, it's one of those, if you take like NBA team, just pick any random NBA team against another solid team in Europe or Asia, whatever, they might give them a run for their money. I'm gonna go put my money on the US, but it might give them a run for the money because the US is more like, contact.
No, I'm saying like if they had to make a country, if you had to make a national team. So if you had to make a national team from the NFL, you have more American citizens, more born Americans that will dominate the world. You will win a World Cup.
Right.
If you had that. But from a basketball, baseball point of view, bringing those nationals together, America will be like difficult.
I think
guarantee. Like USA basketball and USA baseball don't go to an Olympic event and guarantee gold.
I will disagree with you on basketball.
Yeah, basketball now because you guys have improved it. But back in the day, you guys were blowing hot and cold.
We were blowing back in the day. It was like we would win 3 and then lose 2, and then everyone hated us. And then we'd win 5 and then lose 1, and then we're shit again. Then we'd win 3. That's the thing that got me because I've actually looked that up. How many like in the 80s and 90s and 70s? How many like championships we have? We have a lot. We have the most. Yeah. But then we would lose 2 Olympics in a row to like Russia or Yugoslavia or Spain. And then everyone's like, see, I told y'all the USA is shit. But then we win 3 in a row, and it's quiet. Yeah. And then we lose 1. Y'all trash. See, I told you y'all trash. And then that's what made me mad about the whole, the Euro League or something, the FIBA World Cup that just happened a year or 2 ago, when we had a track runner. He won gold in something. He was like, the U.S. says that they're the NBA is world champions. Y'all not world champions. This is a U.S. guy named Noah Lyles. Talk trash.
I remember this whole thing. Yeah.
So then everyone watching the FIBA World Cup, and I think we came in 3rd in the FIBA World Cup, and people was talking trash about us. I get it. They did it. We did trash. However, before he won that race, none of our star players really go to the FIBA World Cup. We never really send our star players. All those guys who played on that team, it was like 1 starter, and the rest were like bench guys. But because of that, now everyone's like, oh, yeah, y'all trash. Y'all came in 3rd place. The world is catching up. Now you poke the bear. So now for our team that we're sending to Paris, it's LeBron James. It's Anthony Davis. It's Steph Curry. It's Kyrie Irving. Now we're getting our stars. Now people are like, okay. So now we trash? Okay. Let's bring... now we're trash? Okay, let's bring all our MVPs. Let's see how trash. And then now the whole narrative is, oh, so y'all got to bring y'all best players now. Yeah, y'all said we was trash. Let's see how trash we are.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like I think our Olympic team has already been picked, and I think everybody in our Olympic team is like has won at least 1 to 2 MVPs. So
they
and
they're gonna run. They're gonna have a good run towards the medal matches. That's for sure.
Right.
They
And it was the same thing with the what was it in basketball with that year, if you watch the Dream Team
yeah,
documentary
yeah, yeah,
when
yeah, yeah.
LeBron and them
Exactly,
were
exactly.
playing
That's
and we were
if
getting
you
beat,
guys, yeah,
everyone was talking shit. We said, okay, let's go get Kobe.
yeah. There we go.
We got Kobe, never lost a game.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, man, it's
It's
going.
an
I know we went
interesting
off on this wild tangent.
Yeah, yeah, but it's an
Yeah,
interesting back and forth when it comes to that aspect. So that's where I wanted to like just be like, yo, guys, we can joke as much as we want, but we've got to realize the magnitude of American sports. You got to appreciate. I wish I had that. I wish I went to a university that had that much support for a game. I mean,
yeah,
we don't even have that
cause
amount of support in an international game. So it's just it's
yeah,
just not registered
and
enough. Like when you have eighty
yeah,
thousand people going to a university football match, American football match,
woo,
don't
woo,
we can't compare it around the world. We can't compare it. I mean, a Premier
yeah,
League match gets 50 to 60,000 people every week. That's international paying tickets. However, this is just a college match, one little university bringing in 50, 60,000 for a
man,
university game. No one knows when Cambridge and Oxford are doing their rowing
50,
championships.
50, 60. Now, if you go to a Michigan versus Minnesota at the Big House, that's 120,000.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just talking about the averages. I'm saying like your small universities. I'm bringing
Oh, small
160,000.
universities, yeah, about 50.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's small.
Yeah,
University of Pretoria playing rugby brings in maybe 1,000 people to the stands or 10,000 people max. Stadiums can't handle 5,000 people. You see, the magnitude is crazy. The magnitude is crazy.
yeah.
So yeah,
So and then my and once again, I hear so much trash about this coming from the UK. And I'm not saying it's just the UK, it's just in my personal life where I hear
yeah,
it from. My thing is when people say you all shouldn't be call yourself the world champions, you all shouldn't do this, da da da. My solution to all of this, don't watch it.
yeah. There we go. Keep quiet about it. Just go.
Don't
Go on.
if you don't like it that much and you hate it that because we're not going to change it. I can
No.
tell you that now. They're not going to change it. It's been like that since probably the 60s or whatever. It's not going to change. If you hate it so much, one, sorry about that. Just back my mic. One, don't watch it because obviously we're living rent free in your head.
Yeah,
Don't watch it.
exactly.
If we come to your country to play, don't go to the game because when we come to London to go to Wimbledon, that game be packed.
It's packed, sold out.
All right, don't go to the game. Don't watch the Super Bowl. You know, and if you hate the NBA so much because we have world champions, cool. If
Don't
your
mind.
child becomes a top tier basketball player, don't send them to the U.S. Send them
Yeah,
to the Premier League of basketball in the UK and do your thing. My
yes.
whole thing is you don't have to. My whole thing is yeah, we call ourselves that. The U.S. calls ourselves world champions. If you don't like it, either A, do something about it, or B, just shut up. If the rugby if rugby in South Africa, if y'all won the rugby league championship, I don't know, and y'all say, yeah, we're the world champions. I personally don't care too much about rugby. So I'm not gonna be like, y'all shouldn't say that. Y'all not the world champions. I'm like, hey man, they might be the world champion. They might be the best. I don't know. I can't play. They kick my ass. So there's no point in me even arguing about it. If someone was like, "Yeah, I'm a South African League rugby international champion or world champion," congratulations, my brother. Get another one.
Get another
You
one.
know.
I like that.
So yeah,
All
man. I
right.
just like, hey, man, just don't watch it.
I knew this was brewing in your chest, and you finally have gotten off. So I'm glad we could offer
Yeah,
that
man.
space.
It only took 40 minutes.
All right, let's talk about some expat stuff. So I've got a crazy
Okay.
story from Vicky. We can share that
All
afterwards.
right.
We can share it afterwards. However, I want to talk about two things about being an expat. So being an expat, there's going to be two things that are going to pop up quite a bit depending on where you live. And I think you're pretty much going through that, and you've gone through both of these things. Well, you're going through one of them constantly, and the other one you've been through it. And So obviously, I want to ask you how it went and how do you feel about it and everything like that. So being about an expat, I got asked this question about how I feel about possibly or ever being in an interracial relationship. What does it feel like? What does it look like? And I think from my standpoint, I obviously had two mates back at school, Charles and Zamo. Shout out to them. They were black guys at my school, and they had always interracial relationships. They've dated preferably white girls or colored girls, and whatever that may be. You know,
Hmm.
they dated black girls as well. But for me, it was I was exposed to it at such a young age, and going to university, you see interracial couples. It's not very common in South Africa, but it is growing. However, coming to
Hmm.
China, it's obvious. There is a lot.
Right.
You know,
There's a
wherever
lot.
you go to an international city, interracial couples are just normal.
Right.
So, being an expat, this is something that if you're coming as a single person, you're going to experience it. You might be afraid of it. You might be unknown to it. It might not be normal to you based on your culture, based on your experience. But yeah,
Hmm.
so that's something that you're going to experience. So, and another thing that we can talk about is how do you handle long distance relationships based on timing, situations, circumstances? You know, are you both expats living in two different countries, or did you leave your home country and your partner? How do you handle it? So yeah, I'm going to
Right.
swing this to you. I'm going to push the pieces into your court, the throw the ball into your court, and be like, how do you feel about being an interracial couple? Am I saying that correctly?
Firstly, as far as an interracial couple, I
Are you there?
and granted, it.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
sorry.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. I
Okay.
got you.
All right. So as far as an interracial couple, and obviously it depends on what the races are. Some races you might have religious factors you got to deal with, or cultural factors. I know, like in China, if you're dating a Chinese woman, you might have to deal with some cultural, some clashes with her family.
Mm.
That plays into it. Me, and I've only dated, I've dated black women, white women. My girlfriend now is white, uh, and I think I dated like maybe Hispanic or something like that. But for the most part, one, I feel like we're in a perfect time that more people our generation and younger
Mm.
don't care. We
Yeah.
don't really. I feel like we don't care. I'm not. I have never in my life seen an interracial couple, no matter the race. But let's just. I'm a black guy dating a white woman. See a black guy dating a white woman was like, ugh, like how dare he? I don't care.
Yeah.
One, I don't care because whatever you're doing with whoever you're doing it with has no impact on my life.
Exactly.
So as long as you happy dating whatever color you want to date, by all means, just treat them well, be happy, live and prosper. That's all I care about. I don't care
Yeah.
what color. My dad used to tell me all the time. I don't care if she's green, as long as she's happy. So I
You
feel like
wouldn't date the
interracial
person
couples.
for color. I think,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I feel like interracial couples. It's as long as you're happy and as long as you're somebody who you're attracted to. Like I'm currently dating my girlfriend is white. I'm attracted to all colors. I don't see like, oh, I'm not liking her because she's white or brown or black or too dark or too light. Beautiful is beautiful. I see beautiful women of all colors, of all races. I'm pretty sure Lucy can. She's dated outside of her race as well. Well, obviously, and within her race, and it should tell you the same thing. We don't really care about color.
yeah,
I think that pressure comes from the older generations.
yeah,
You know, the older generations that are really confined to staying in their color. Like I know in the U.S., with our racial history, it might be the same thing in South Africa. With the racial
yeah.
with the racial history, you only date within your color.
Mm.
Uh, I can tell you now, my first crush, and I still remember her name. I'm not gonna say her name. It was two girls. I was at elementary school. I remember their names. I ended up going to high school with both of them. Never dated them. But the first girls I had a crush on were two little white girls. And I thought they were the most beautiful things in the world. Now, I've dated black women. I've dated white women. It doesn't really matter to me because I find whoever I find attractive, attractive.
Yeah,
And it's
same.
usually within your environment. When me and Lucy got together, when I came to China, I didn't like have in my head. To be honest with you, I probably thought I was going to be with a Chinese woman. If I'm being completely honest, before I got there, but I didn't have in my head, oh yeah, I'm looking for a white woman from Wales. That was never a thought. It
Same.
was a product. It was a product of my environment. My first school they put me in, the first seat they put me in, I'm sitting next to Lucy.
Yeah.
And before that, I was sort of kind of dating someone else. She was dating another guy. So we were just friends. It wasn't nothing more than that. We ended up leaving our respective partners. We still stood next to each other, still working next to each other. She was fine. I'm like, damn, Shorty got a little body on her. Bing, bang, boom. Here we are.
Yeah.
So it's, I never feel any pressure when I walk around with Lucy. I don't feel any pressure. I don't think that she cares at all either. That doesn't, and I have one cousin, and I told Lucy about this. I have one cousin who, and it wasn't with Lucy. I was dating another white woman in my past, and like my mom doesn't care. My mom, my dad, my family does not care who I date. They're just like, as long
Yeah.
as you treat her with respect, as long as you treat you with respect, we will welcome whoever in his family. As long as there's a respect and there's loyalty and there's love, we don't care what color they are. And I love that about my
Yeah.
family. And I have one cousin who told me years ago, I was dating a white woman and she was like, why are you dating her? And I was like, what's wrong with her? And she was on some like, why can't you stay within your race? Which, first of all, pissed me off for two things. Because I was like, if a white person said that, you would call them racist.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Second of all, whoever I'm dating, what does it got to do with you? You not sleeping with her. What does it got to do with you? So then my cousin told me, well, if you marry her, I'm not coming to your wedding. My response was,
Bye.
cool. That's one less invitation I got to send out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
One less
wouldn't be
person
like,
to pay
oh
for.
man, she's, yeah. I'm like, oh man, she didn't come to my wedding. My world is now shattered. I could give two less of a fucks. First of all, I was like, I only see you like once a year max, anyways. I was like, I don't. And my mom was like, we don't care. So yeah, interracial
I see
couples,
it.
man. Yeah. Plus, my
If
dad
it's
used to always say, yeah, my dad used to always say, when you're whoever you with, when you're in the bedroom, when the lights go off, everybody black. So
I think
yeah.
I think you mentioned it in the beginning there. I think interracial couples, there's challenges and there's obstacles when it comes to culture. And I think
Right.
if you look at culturally, Asian culture, African culture per se as well, there becomes the obstacles of like you
Cause
dating, and it's not.
those are two strong cultures though.
Yeah, and it's not dating within. It's not just about changing color of the person. It's about changing family. Like you are dating,
Yeah.
like even if you were a Beijing person dating a Shenzhen person, there are going to be family awkwardness clashes. These things
Right.
exist. So yeah, so like if you, let's say for instance, a Ghanaian dating a single, I'm gonna mess this up, but like a Sinhalese or a Kenyan, there are going to be cultural differences that the family's going to be like, hold up, this is it. It's not. It's just not white or black. It's culture. So I do think like
Right.
that there comes a challenge, and I think sometimes you're going to experience that. So in Asia, if you're coming from outside of Asia and you're coming into the Asian dating world, you're going to find differences of culture. Not just, I don't think it's interracial per se. I would just say intercultural aspects. And the best thing that you can do,
Yeah.
and the best thing that I've seen people do and I've seen people talk about is you got to respect the culture. You can't come in with,
Yep.
if like for instance, like from my background, if I'm ever dating someone that comes from a different culture, I'm sitting there going, okay, my culture is relaxed about who I date. I don't need to
Yeah.
find a South African or a Greek or a white person per se. I don't need to find that. So my respect needs to come from my situation and understanding. So like, but yeah, I think that's definitely something that would challenge
Yeah.
couples definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a, and like I said, that question in general, from an American standpoint, you might get some weird looks if you're in like deep south because they're still depending on where. Like in the cities, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You go to some of them deep south country towns, you might get some looks. There's still some backwater people that have
Yeah.
ideals from when we were picking cotton. Uh, but for the most part in the U.S., especially like I said, this generation, the younger ones, even the ones like above us, don't really care.
Yeah.
Like I know in back home in Kentucky, in Louisville, you see them. It's interracial couples everywhere. It's black, white, Hispanic, Asian. It don't. No one cares, especially nowadays, because most, which I would like to assume, most people you meet, at least if you go to college, most colleges are melting pots anyway.
Yeah.
So at your college, like my college, it was white, black, Hispanic, Asian. It's just, and then whoever you in around and whoever you find attractive, it is what it is. So I
Yeah.
think, like you said, like the cultural challenges. I don't think there's a big cultural challenge coming from the U.S. standpoint
Yeah.
because we don't know what the hell we are. But I think in the U.S. it's more so just color. And my advice is, if whoever's got an issue with it, if you care that much, I guess you got to deal with it. I've always never cared. And if I've ever been around someone that had an issue with it, I was like, you know what? I get that you have an issue with it. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. You don't need to be in my circle anymore. We can just leave it at that.
Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read.
But
So we can pause long distance. Talk till episode.
well, yeah.
But let's talk about the story that I got from Vicky. So.
All right.
Vicky,
is it about me?
No. It's a poop story. So apparently poop stories are famous in China. And
they are big. I have a few. I have two poop stories, but yeah.
Yeah, let's hit this one out of the park, and then we'll move on to Dad's.
Yeah.
But this came in. So shout out to Vicky. It was on our Instagram page, but somehow this message didn't come through. It was sent in December, so it's now March. So I did apologize that it was a bit late, but I got this message, and here's Vicky's story about poop story. So last week, I was taking my dog out for an evening walk. When I walked back inside,
I already know this is going.
Keyword, I saw a young man.
Yes.
I saw a young man, ass cheeks to the wall, squatting, taking the smelliest, nastiest shit I have ever smelt in the lobby next to the elevator. I've never in my life seen a grown man take a shit indoors in public. And along with myself, an old lady also saw this man. When I got into the elevator, she was popping off. I don't speak Chinese, but I know she was saying some things about this man. And I'll never forget that horrid smell.
Yeah, she told me this. She told me this.
That is some of the craziest things. Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen nothing like that. I thought the story that I thought she was going to say, and Vicky will remember this, was one time me and Vicky were at what's that club called? The one that sells fake alcohol.
Bar 11.
Bar 11.
Okay.
Bar 11. Yeah. Never. If you're ever in China in Shenyang, you go to Bar 11, and the dude offers you. What does he offer you as soon as you walk in? He's like, "Oh, he gives everybody a shot of Jaeger bombs." Don't drink that shit.
Don't do it.
Every time he gives it to me, I cheers him, and when he looks off, I throw it behind my back.
Woo! And someone has Jaeger bomb in their face.
Yeah, that don't do it. Don't do it. But anyways, we was there. We was all just hanging, chilling out, whatever. And I remember we met these dudes. I think it was like two dudes, and they were drunk. And have you've seen the toilets at Bar 11, right? The women's bathrooms.
Small. Yeah, they're right there, small.
And they're disgusting. And they're disgusting. All I remember was these two, me and Vicky. I think Lucy was there, but I remember me and Vicky, and one of the dudes that we was with, and he bought this pitcher full of. We didn't know it was whiskey. He bought a pitcher of whiskey, and downed the pitcher.
Jeez. Oh, his stomach.
Down the picture. So when he first did it, I thought it was like because it was kind of clearish or something. I thought it was like water or some lemonade or something. Till I tasted it, I was like, "Yo, that's pure alcohol," and this man just guzzled it.
Whew.
So he got drunk, went to the bathroom. He's like, "I gotta go pee." He was like, "All right, cool." We're sitting there talking. His other friend is like, "Where'd my friend go?" He's like, "Yeah, he went to the bathroom." And he goes to check on him, comes back, "Yo, I need your help, man. He's passed out on the floor."
Oh no.
He looking at me because I'm big, and I'm like, "Man, I ain't trying to pick this dude up. I don't even know dude like that." So I was like, "Vicky, let's go check this man out." So we go to the bathroom. His friend is in there trying to pick him up. Those women's bathroom. He's in the women's bathroom or the toilet. Not the really women's bathroom. It's more just like a toilet. And it's like it's a hole in the floor. It's a squat, and it's already disgusting. People have been walking and people have been peeing, missing. He's on the floor next to the toilet. I'm like, oh, already. I'm like, it already. I would never touch those floors. He's on the floor, and he's looking at me. "Man, can you help me pick him up? Can you help me pick him up?" And I remember I looked down at him, and not only was he just on the floor, like face on the floor. Not only was he on the floor, it was vomit all over him. I almost threw. I told Vicky, I was like, "Look, I can't." I said because what's going to happen is I'm going to touch him and then I'm going to throw up on him.
Yeah, cancel that.
Me and Vicky looking at each other. Me and Vicky's like, "Hell no, nope,
No, thank you.
no." We just walked off. We was like, "Man, you got it, man." It was like, "You got to call the police or the ambulance or something." He ended up calling the ambulance. They ended up dragging him outside. He was asleep on the ground, and the ambulance came and picked him up.
Oh my god.
But yeah, man, I was like, hell. Here's the funny thing was, so when you meet these people, they add you on WeChat. So of course he added us on WeChat. Never really talked to him. I think I ended up deleting him. This man who was on bar 11 floor, passed out. Floor is disgusting. Like thinking about it is disgusting. Floor is disgusting. Covered in vomit. Had the ambulance come and pick him up, take him to the hospital. We never seen him again. The next day, at maybe like 11 a.m., I'm on WeChat scrolling because I wasn't drunk or hungover. I'm on my moments, scrolling. I see a picture of him. Guess where he's at? He is at the airport and made it to his flight in time for his like 11:30 a.m. flight back home.
What a legend.
And I sent it to Vicky, and I'm like, how? Because we knew he wasn't from there. He was like there for like a bachelor event or something like that. And I'm like, how? Like, there's no way what I saw you do last night that you were making it to your 11 a.m. flight the next day. We thought you were dead. And he made it on his flight. I was like, yo, I don't know. I was like, I don't know how he got out the hospital. I don't know how he got cleaned up. I don't know. But he made it to his flight, man. He made it home. So don't know his name. Shout out to you wherever you at. I hope you're doing well, man. But you showed me you was a thug that day.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, the long distance
shows.
relationships and
Yeah,
okay.
We can do long distance. We can do long distance next episode. That's for sure. That's
something we
can chat about.
TV shows.
TV shows we'll put on ice until this man catches up because this man hasn't catched up. So there's two series that he needs to catch up and get watching. Get watching.
That is my homework for this week because I did finish Alice in Borderland.
All right, yes. So we can now talk and hopefully get season 3 out soon. But Avatar, the live action from Netflix, you've got to watch it. And the Brother's Son from Netflix is out. It's really good. I enjoy it.
Okay.
But
there's only one season of Brother's Son, right?
Yeah. So it's just new. It's a new type of series. You will recognize most of the actors as well. But,
yeah, I've seen a trailer for it.
Yeah, classic movie of. I was scrolling through Disney Channel for the kids to watch a movie at school. My literacy class did really well, so I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna reward you with the guys with a movie. And I was walking around and I was like, this is a Disney movie. this is a Disney movie, and I turned it on. I haven't seen my kids laugh. I haven't had myself laugh for a long time like that with my kids. We were watching this movie. I think I've watched it about 6 times, and every time I'm reminded that it is a classic, fantastic movie, and and I think more new generation kids people need to watch it. And the movie is Cool Runnings.
Sanka, you're dead, man. You're dead.
Sanka, you're dead. I had my 10-year-olds, after the class walking around the whole school for the whole day. Sanka, man, you're dead. Yeah,
Sanka, man, you're
My
dead.
kids-
Yeah, man.
my kids, my parents messaged me, Daniel, they're speaking funny languages. I was like, I'm so sorry, they were watching this Jamaican movie. And all the parents were like, oh, is this the Cool Runnings movie? And I'm like, yes. They're like, fantastic. Thanks for the kids are watching it. And these are my parents that have watched it, and I'm showing it to the kids. And they're like, yeah, man. And they're walking around. And I absolutely love it. It is such a jam. It is so good.
We are the Jamaican bobsled team. That is a top tier classic movie. I feel like if you haven't seen Cool Runnings, if you were born in the 80s, 90s, I don't think you had a solid childhood.
No, you didn't. That's a movie you have to watch.
That is a great movie. Was he always had that egg with him that never broke?
Yeah, never broke it. He kissed it. He always kissed it. And they're like, Mr. Daniel, why are they kissing the egg? Why is he kissing the egg? I was like, you'll see. Wait for it.
Yeah. And what did they name the thing where they try to come up names for the bobsled? And the one dude said something. It was his mom's name.
Yes, he put his mom's name. I remember this. It was good. They're not finished it yet, so they're watching it bit by bit. But yeah, I'm enjoying watching them have a bit of my childhood.
Solid movie. That's back when Disney was. I think, top tier. I think they kind of faltered a bit.
Yeah, they've gone up and down over the years, but they had some good movies back in the day. Good live actions. All right, gotcha. Sir. Do you have a dad joke for us? Are you contributing this?
I got one. Here's the thing, though, and I'm doing better at it. When I start seeing dad jokes or hearing them or thinking of them, I'm starting to save them now. So I only have one, and I don't think it's great, but I'm starting to save them now because I'll see them. Oh man, that's a solid joke, and then I don't save it, and then I can't find it when it's actually time to say it.
All right. Well, I have two. They're weird. That's okay. You want me to start or you start?
I'll just say mine to get it out the way.
Cool.
What do you call a knight made entirely of China?
What do you call it?
Ceramic. Yeah.
So just to put it.
Do you hear the chair? The chair is laughing.
I didn't hear the punchline because you froze. So can you say the punchline again, please? So what do you call a knife made out of China? I missed the punchline. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's not gonna be funny the second time. Well, his name is ceramic. Did you hear it that time?
Yeah, I heard it that time. I appreciate that part. I'm so sorry. Technology failed just at that moment. You told the punchline. I was like, it paused. It froze at the wrong time.
Okay. All right, what's your jokes, man?
All right. So I once dated a magazine collector. She had a lot of issues.
Nice. Solid. Okay.
And I don't know which one to do, but I think I'll do this one. My husband has been missing for 6 days. The police said I needed to prepare for the worst. So I went back to the charity shop to collect his clothes.
Oh. In case he comes back.
Yeah. Prepare for the worst.
Damn.
Oh, damn, he's not gone forever.
Okay. I like that. It was solid. Better than the first one for sure.
Yeah, better one. The issues with it was a risk. It was a risk. That chair is
but yeah, man.
Nicely at the end there.
It is loud. I'm looking at my hair in this camera, dude. My hair is next episode I'll have a haircut, my hair done. My hair is rough. Le rough. Look at that. He got a line.
Alright.
Ooh.
Well, that is episode 20
But
from Mr. D and Sweet Buttery Nick.
no, just Nick.
Yeah, I'm not going to live it up. I'm going to keep going. Sweet Buttery Nick for episodes. Episodes. Shout out to the Paddies. Shout out to the Paddies. We love you, Paddies. Thanks for sharing.
Did Ruth say anything about my phone?
Not yet. Remember, we just released episode 19, so she hasn't.
Okay.
Yet. Yeah.
Okay. I need Ruth's. I'm waiting on Ruth's.
I will get Ruth to watch it and say, hey, Nick needs your approval, please. Get on it.
Okay,
like
gotcha.
And subscribe.
Yeah. Follow us. Talk about us. Tell somebody to tell somebody.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Episode 20. We are out. Go Blue.